So C-3PO's useless as what he is until the final.
He's Google
of the
Translate
trilogy
with legs.
It should be C3P Oreo.
Oh,
Isn't that what Google call their operating systems? Isn't the next one like Oreo?
Yeah, Android operating systems are named after like
Foodstuffs.
No, I think it's even
Chocolate
more specific.
bars.
It's desserts, isn't
Sweet
it?
things.
Sweet things.
Wow.
So yeah,
Amazing.
poo-pooing my joke. How dare you? Anyway.
I'm saving all my poo-pooing.
Let's do a podcast.
Yeah, wait till you get home, you bastard.
I've got a toilet in the back of my car. Literally have a toilet.
He
in the back
does.
of my car.
So there we go.
A ceramic one.
Taking it from the old house, have you?
No.
Just moving out.
Just left the
Taking
new
toilet.
owners with no toilet.
Just a hole in the ground.
Oh, Jason Orange finally pulled his finger out and he's got something from him. So
Oh, Jason Orange
yeah,
Plumbing.
Jason Orange Plumbing.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
Successfully. So did
You
get
do
it
realise
delivered
that
somewhere else?
that is the name of a guy from an old boy band,
It's
isn't it?
Take
Take
that,
That,
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
So he runs that plumbing company.
Yeah, he does.
Wow. Bad Jason Orange.
So, yeah.
There was rumours for years that he was the one doing all the plumbing. And it's true.
Anyway, right. Welcome to Snooze. What is it called? Welcome to
Snooze Button.
the Snooze
Snooze
Button,
Button.
the news show where we bring you about half an hour's worth of movie, TV, and pop culture news, and then we'll hit a snooze button, and then we'll quick fire some stuff.
Yeah.
Tell you about some trailers, and naff off and have some dinner.
Good plum.
Cool. Let's do that. Ready?
Oh,
Yes,
No, introduce
but-
the show. No, just introduce the show.
Okay.
Chris,
Hello.
introduce the show.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Snooze Button with Mr. Adam Gattrell,
Hello.
Mr. Ross Murphy,
Hello.
Mr. Paul Brown,
Yeah.
and me, Chris Quinton. Hello.
Why am I the only one that waves?
Because we're all sat in the room together, mate. You don't need to wave. Plus, I can't see you if I'm talking into my microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry,
You
we don't
should
need to
be
look at
sitting
each other.
there.
We're familiar with each other enough to not have to look at each
Yes,
other.
but it's
fine.
like, I don't like it because he might be doing things out of the corner of my eye.
Don't do that, Adam. Right.
Chris, tell me. Have we got any
Wait.
questions this week?
Ross asks knowingly. Yes, we have got 2 questions this week, haven't we? We've
Oh.
got one from Mr. Jamie Hayward, and you've got one from John Bundy, I believe. Ross, go with John's first.
Just real quick, then.
We're going to have 2 questions. Amazing.
James is quite short, so we can fit 2 in. It's fine.
Awesome.
John Bundy asks, he is currently playing Rise of the Dragon for the Mega CD, which I've never even heard of. Is it the Bruce Lee the movie game?
No idea.
Anyway, he's saying, my question, have any of you gone back to consoles that are a commercial failure and found you really enjoyed them?
Ooh.
Adam bangs on about the Wii U all the time, so yeah, clearly. No?
I've never banged on about a Wii U, other than
Oh,
that my
your
mate
mate's
had
got-
one and it died over and over again.
I used to love my Game Gear. Was that a commercial failure?
Yeah, I would say.
Yeah, I
they're
suppose
probably
that would be,
I
yeah.
had mine for years. Absolutely years. And I just played Wonder Boy constantly.
Would you love it now
for
if you
a
had one?
decade.
And would you play it?
I'd probably still hide under the duvet and play it, yeah. When I'm supposed to be going to sleep.
Yeah, but what
Avoid
about
getting told off by parents.
what about the
I mean, my partner.
yeah, but what about the Sega? Yeah.
Wonder Boy.
Mine's easy. Dreamcast. I fucking love it.
Was that a commercial? Was that
It's
not a
absolute
commercial?
was
commercial
actually,
as
yeah.
well.
Bomb, yeah.
But
It was.
it is an
Oh,
absolute masterpiece piece of hardware. And some of
Okay,
the games,
I'd probably say
some of the
that's
games are
mine then
amazing as well.
Mega CD32.
Yeah.
Yeah, but only because somebody made those amazing CDs.
Yeah, that's the only reason.
Like, it's the easiest way to play Amiga games, like, sort of a bit properly.
Yeah.
It's funny you should mention this. Jamie's question's related to that. So, but anyway, are we finished up on this question?
Well, you haven't
Adam?
answered, Chris.
Yeah,
Well,
I
yeah,
have.
you have.
Yeah,
Adam,
I think mine would be probably either one of what you or Paul have said, because they're the only ones.
He'd come
that
round
I've-
and nick ours.
Yeah, they're the only ones I really ever played of the ones that were.
My Game
I've
Gear
never
got
played a
stolen.
Game Gear. Never seen a
Game Gear got stolen.
Yeah.
heavy.
When we were moving house, it was in a bag. The bag disappeared. It had loads of cables and stuff in it, and my Game Gear.
Ah, so we went there, redundant cables.
Yeah. Well, no, I think somebody went, ooh, they're moving house. There's probably something of value in this bag. And off it went, off the side of the street.
Disgraceful.
I suppose what else I'd categorise in that category is the GameCube didn't sell many consoles.
True.
And
Great
it's
machine,
got
though.
some
GameCube.
amazing games. It's got the best controller of any controller
Yeah,
ever.
it's
Literally, the
amazing.
GameCube controller
What is a
the best
GameCube?
controller.
What's the GameCube?
The one before the Wii.
It's like this thing with
Oh.
like 6 sides, all different colour, and you like flick it round and like try and match the colour on each side.
Right. Okay.
Chris is talking about a Rubik's Cube, but also trying to make a joke. Both fell flat. GameCube was Nintendo's console between the N64 and the Wii, and it's the little one with the handle, and it normally most people had in purple, and it's not very big.
Oh yeah,
It's about
yeah.
that big.
I know.
But the
one.
controller, you would know the controller because you pick it up and you go, "This is the most perfectly comfortable thing ever made by humanity." And more people need to
Don't
make
think I've
controllers
played
like
one.
so you
It's
can,
like
stick
literally
round
the
on it.
opposite of the Dreamcast controller.
Right.
It's
Okay.
like holding on to the most uncomfortable thing in the world ever.
And all the games were on CDs about the same size as Ross's earphone muffler.
Yeah, the little what size?
2.5 inch.
or 3 inch maybe. But that was an
Yeah.
actual CD size. Like
It was,
in
yeah.
Japan, they put
Well,
singles on it. and
my
stuff,
old
didn't they?
Sony.
Yeah.
like a 25, like it's same size as a
Yeah,
UMD.
my old Sony CD player had like a tray. In the tray bit, it had the one for normal size and the one for the small CDs.
Yeah.
Because a lot of bands released singles on the small CDs
That's
for a
right,
while.
yeah.
And yeah, they
But
fit in.
It's also got some really good fucked up games on it, like the remake of Metal Gear Solid.
Cool. I'll have to have a look back.
right.
You can emulate the GameCube real easy.
Jamie's
I've got
question.
I've got a Wii. You can play GameCube games on that, can't you?
Yeah,
The first one.
is yours one of the first ones?
Yeah.
Because yours is black, isn't it?
Yeah. One of the first black ones.
Right. I've got one, and I've shipped it and hung a hard drive off it, and all the games are on it.
Hanging it off it, just
No, literally, it is hung off it.
is it
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen it.
It's
true.
taped to it.
on hooks?
I know that's a lie. I've taped it to it.
Right.
And it I run all the games off the hard drive, and there's just literally every one of my GameCube games. You could just put it in, and it would just rip it to the hard drive. So I just did.
I need to talk to you about that later. Right. Jamie Hayward, hello Jamie, said, figured I'd email rather than Facebook. Try out all the contact possibilities.
Yay!
Yay. So I found my old Amiga 1200 in the loft.
Nice.
Do you have any favourite games
Sell it to me.
from the Amiga console? And what was your favourite childhood console?
Oh man, this is an easy question, easy to answer. It's
Go
the
on.
Amiga.
Yeah.
The Amiga.
We spoke about
Yeah,
this
the
on podcast
Amiga.
before. The Amiga's the best machine ever made.
Fair enough. See
Freddy's-
our previous episode.
Yeah, Freddy's. I can't remember what it's
Big
called.
Top House of Fun,
Yeah,
is it?
Freddy's. Big Top.
Oh mate,
That was my
this-
favourite
but
game out of all games because it starts with being a diver at a circus and you climb up to the first bit of a ladder with a diving board and you've got to control the character and make him land in a swimming pool. Then you go up to the next ladder and you've got to land in like a bucket.
Were you playing
go
this
up to
while
the
you were
next
riding on your
and-
unicycle?
This
No,
game sounds
no.
amazing.
It was a good, fun game. There was a juggling bit where you're controlling a cow and balancing on a ball, and you're juggling, and then people
I
chuck
actually remember
bombs in,
that.
and you have to try and juggle the bomb and get the bomb off.
Yeah.
And it's really hard, but it was great. It's like California Games, but a circus.
Yeah.
Pretty much anything by the Bitmap Brothers.
Oh,
So-
Yeah.
Chaos Engine, I love.
That was
Speedball
amazing.
2.
Speedball
Even
2.
games that aren't very good, but you forgive them because they're just beautiful, like Magic Pockets.
Yeah.
It's
Ooh,
not
yeah.
a good game, but it's just they did stuff with that machine that nobody else could do.
Yeah, fair.
Everything by Sensible Software.
Okay.
So like Sensible Soccer was one of the greatest games ever made.
Star Control.
What was
Little
the one
known
called?
classic.
What, cannon fodder.
Cannon Fodder,
That was amazing.
Megalomaniacs, WizKid.
I think
Oh, mate,
the very first Worms.
Oh yeah,
was
anything by Codemaster. We can put
Yeah.
them in there.
Team 17.
Because you got Codemaster did Dizzy as well, didn't they?
Oh, Alien Breed, yeah, the Alien Breed series.
Oh, Team 17, yeah, of course. When they did that, what's the fighting game they did? With
Full
the fucking
Contact.
amazing intro of just
Full
somebody
Contact.
just doing like wushu shit in a silhouette. Oh, so good.
I loved Strider.
Yeah, it's
Strider
a
was
good game.
fantastic.
That was
yeah.
good
You
on
can get
the
that.
Amiga.
They remade that. It's a Capcom coin op, so
Yeah.
you can get it on the PlayStation 4.
I just purchased it.
Did you?
Yeah, yesterday.
Was it cheap?
When I saw Jamie's question, I thought, shall I go and have a look? And I was watching a video on YouTube that compares all the different Striders through from the arcade all the way through like ZX Spectrum and every
Right.
platform up to the most recent one. And I thought, oh, that looks quite nice. And it was on PlayStation Store for like $6.99.
Lucasfilm.
yeah,
So
it was good.
boom.
Lucas Game.
Oh, anything by
Lucas Game out
Lucas
there.
Art.
Yeah.
What one?
Anything by LucasArts.
LucasArts.
Yeah.
What do they do?
Basically, Monkey Island
So
1 and
many.
Monkey Island 2, two
It
of the
came
best
from the
games
desert.
ever made. Oh, yeah, cinema, what are they called?
They did that actually
Cinema-
good Star Wars game as well,
what was it
didn't they?
called?
With the rocket, what's the
Dunno.
Rocketeer game
Rocketeer
called
one.
as well? And Wings.
They did
Was the
two
First World War
really good
fighting.
Star Wars games, LucasArts, didn't they? They did the Shadows of the Empire one on 64, which was amazing fun. And then they did the Amiga one that I had was one of the Rogues, I think it was Rogue Squadron or something, or TIE Pilot or something like that.
X-Wing and TIE Fighter were PC games. They were too good to run on the Amiga, basically.
I had one on an Amiga,
Yeah.
but I don't know what it's called. But
Honourable
yeah.
mention, Moonstone.
Oh, that's the really violent, choppy head-off game. Yeah.
Fucking mental.
Is that not two barbarians fighting?
No, that's Barbarian.
Oh, yeah.
Or Barbarian
Cool, okay.
2, where you
Yeah.
could do that move where it chops somebody's head off.
Yeah.
No, you
But
can do
it's
it in
a really-
Barbarian 1.
Really open... And the little goblin comes
Along, kicks it
your
along
head
like a
off.
football.
The only game, there's one game that I
They're sort of games I
brought it
used to
up
have to play when my
before.
dad wasn't at home.
There's a game I've brought up before, and I still don't know. I knew it as Fractions because the floppy disk said Fractions on it, and it was basically like you had a TV screen on your screen with a video player underneath on the bottom of the screen,
Right.
and then one guy would be stood there, and you'd press play, and one guy would walk on and just like punch the guy in the face, and he'd fall down, and then he'd walk off, and then if you skip through tracks and press different buttons on the front of the video player, it changed what would happen. So you'd have one guy stood there, and one guy would walk on with a shotgun and just blow his head off.
It could just be one of the demos. There was a
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
homebrew demo disc.
But I
thing
just,
going
I don't
on.
know. I haven't been able to find it anywhere. If
These are-
anyone knows,
There is a website, and they've got them all to download.
Oh, amazing.
All the homebrew
Because it was,
Amiga
I remember
demos.
it being called Fractions, and I've tried looking that up
probably is.
over the years, and I cannot find it anywhere.
I'm also partial
You'd
on
have
the
to
Amiga.
link me to that.
I'm also partial on the Amiga to basically any coin-op conversion because they're all brilliant.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, just the sideways scrolling beat-em-ups like Vigilante,
Mortal Kombat.
Dragon
and-
Ninja.
Double Dragon. Oh yeah. Chris,
Target
we're gonna have to move
Renegade.
on, otherwise we'll just be talking about the Amiga. All
Target
night.
Renegade was the one.
That was great on the Spectrum.
Was
I
it
don't
not
know
good
what it's
on
like
Amiga?
on the Amiga. Did it ever come out on the Amiga? I'd love to see
No
it on the
idea.
Amiga.
Just a few more. What I just thought of. Supercars 1 and 2.
Oh, Christ, they're
That's an
amazing.
incredible game, especially the second one.
Any
you know
of the
what?
micro machines.
The Turbo Elite. Is it Turbo Esprit Turbo Challenge, wasn't it?
Lotus Esprit
Turbo
Turbo
Challenge.
Challenge,
They're
1,
still
2 and 3.
playable. Yeah.
Right.
News.
So sorry, Jamie, you've not got an
Jamie,
answer there. You've
can
just
you
got
give
a
us
list
a
of
list?
games that we love.
Jamie, can you feedback how good your Amiga 1200 is?
News.
Right.
News.
Okay. Yes.
News.
Cracking on.
News.
So yeah. Set a timer, Adam. For
I've already started.
have you started it
Yeah,
already?
Shall I reset it? Shall I
no,
reset it?
does that say 25 minutes? Okay,
Yeah.
let's go for it.
Go for it.
Right. Black Panther
Yeah.
has just passed 704 million worldwide and
Cool.
is making a bit of a beeline for the 1 billion club.
Awesome.
I think I'm going to go and sit this week. with my
I saw it
bro.
last week.
What did you think?
It was all right.
Not the shit.
I think I would have enjoyed it more if I hadn't seen 20 superhero movies before it, because it just feels a bit kind of.
It's riding the wave.
Do you
It's a
see
bit
what I
cookie-cutty,
mean
but
about
it's
it
got
being?
just a different setting, you know?
Do you see what I mean about it being one of the better Marvel ones? It's definitely not in the lower end of
Yeah.
shit.
I mean, it's
and-
in there in amongst all of the good ones.
Yeah,
and there's
yeah.
a shitload of them.
Yeah, exactly,
So
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it just doesn't fall out the bottom with that big fucking great hive of decent
Kaplunk
movies.
machine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Marvel Kaplunk. Obviously, it's at the top of the box office.
What, even it's knocked Jumanji off the top spot.
Yeah, that's long gone now. But yeah, second place went to Game Night to give you an idea of what's going on. Black Panther took 108 million in the United States, and Game Night took 16 million in second place. So that's quite a difference. Alex Garland's new sci-fi Annihilation
Yeah.
took third place.
Is this coming straight to Netflix, this film?
Well, it is for us, yeah. In the US, it's got a cinema release, though. So
Did
what
it?
it is, Alex Garland, basically, the studio, when he'd finished his film, the studio said, yeah, it's great, but we want to make these changes. And he said, you're not fucking touching it. And as kind of like a, I don't know, some sort of a punishment, I suppose, they've just sold it really cheap to Netflix, but they've allowed
Oh.
a cinema release in the US still. So he's not going to gain as much money from the movie as he would have done. Then again, neither of the studio. If it does particularly well at the cinema in America, they're going to be kicking themselves, I think. But
Mad.
it gets released here in May.
I thought it was March,
sorry,
25th
March,
March,
yeah.
isn't it?
The other M month, yeah. Yeah, March 20th, is it? Something like that?
25th, I think.
I'm kind of looking forward to it. It sounds
I've
interesting.
had good things on Twitter about it.
It's supposed to be a very good book. So
It's got really divisive reviews, though.
what does that mean?
Oh, as in, it's polarised, like black and... some people really love it, and
Oh, like
other people
Marmite.
don't.
Okay.
Marmite is a
Yeah,
Marmite movie, yeah.
Marmite is very divisive, yeah.
I'm not. I'm in the middle with Marmite.
Oh, yeah?
It's good to water down and put on your potatoes when you're going to roast them, because it makes them go really crunchy.
Welcome
But
to the
I
Marmite
don't
Club.
It's
really
just banging
like
on
it,
toast with
but I
peanut
don't
butter.
like it on toast. No.
On a crumpet. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now you've woke me up.
Pulls like food.
I'm really looking forward to this movie, anyway.
I'm really looking forward to Marmite.
Looks bloody good, in my opinion, and apparently the female characters are really well handled. As in, I heard some sort of feminist, I suppose, movie reviewers basically saying, right, this is how women should be handled in film.
Okay.
So, sounds good. Sticking with Netflix, Witcher 3. There's some movement on their show.
What?
Witcher. Sorry, The Witcher, not Witcher 3. That's Habit, actually.
We've just been playing
Witcher.
The Witcher 3
yeah,
still.
just been playing The Witcher, yeah. But,
What are you
yeah, The
talking
Witcher.
about?
Very good
The Witcher
game.
TV show.
I didn't know there
Netflix
was
are
one.
doing
But not The Witcher.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
What, Gerald of Riviera?
Yes.
Oh, Geralt.
But based
of
on the
Riviera.
books, which all
Geralt.
happened before the games start,
Oh.
right? So, yeah, there's been some movement. The pilot script is done, and they're just finalising bits and bobs on that now, changes and stuff. And we should expect to start seeing episodes in late 2019 or early 2020. It's going to run for 6 or 7 seasons, and it's basically being sort of put forward as Netflix's Game of Thrones.
I'd
Wow.
rather they carry on Marco Polo and actually get.
Was it good?
Marco.
Yeah, and I want them to do more of the history of, like, the Khan, like, reign. Because like that would interest me more than a fantasy.
I think he means
thing.
Genghis.
Yeah. Well, Kublai. It's actually Kublai.
Is it
Khan.
Kublai?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like, yeah, no, that was really good. And Netflix kind of cancelled it after 2 seasons, and they've started doing loads of fantasy stuff. And it's like, I'd rather that. Like, there's enough mental stuff going on in that's real from history that is interesting than the other stuff.
If
It's
there's
just a
one
bit
thing,
annoying.
one thing that I've learned from Netflix and their output over the last couple of weeks is they've got too much money. Way too much money.
Chris is like, they've got too much money. Have another £7 from me.
But aren't they? I read a little while ago. They're like most companies now. They're actually massively in debt, but it's like insignificant debt because
The value
of
of the
how the
company
money
is
and the
worth.
value of the company. Yeah. So it's
Yeah, because at this point they've got property they can sell, haven't they?
Yep.
yeah.
Like Orange, if they've spent 100 million making Orange is the New Black, it's probably worth 200 million now. If they just went, we'll sell it
To a
stu-
channel to
Yeah,
show,
fair.
or yeah.
But I continued watching Altered Carbon, and
Is it any good? We're on
I've
this-
fallen
it's
out
the
of
wrong
it.
show,
Review
isn't
show.
it?
We'll come
We'll
back
talk
to that
about it
later.
then. Let's have a
And,
little. Let's have a little Netflix recap on the review show.
There's
yeah?
loads of Netflix trailers this week, so we'll talk
Yeah.
about them again in a
Alright,
little
Cool.
while. And Mute, I watched that as well.
Yes.
So I'll review that at the end. I watched half of it. I turned it off halfway through. Spoiler alert. Anyway,
It's going to be a good review then.
Spoiler alert for the review show.
The
I've got
Witcher,
things to
though.
review.
Oh yeah, have you? Have you? You've actually been watching
Found
stuff.
time to sit down.
Wow. Right, the Witcher TV show. It's on a big budget, so we're talking the same sort of thing as Game of Thrones, so like 10 million an episode. And the showrunner is the woman who produced Daredevil season 1 and The West Wing season 1, Lauren Schmidt Husrick.
That's a very good pedigree there, isn't
It
it?
is, yes.
Cool.
So yeah, fingers crossed, it'll be good. Cool.
There'll be lots of killing and banging, won't there?
Yeah,
Because it's The Witcher.
yeah.
Yeah.
Violent, monstrous. Hopefully,
Slaying,
lots and lots of beasties.
and then weird sex on the back of a unicorn. Have you got to that bit yet?
No.
Oh, that'll come.
Spoiler alert. All right, okay. Joss Whedon has left the Batgirl project.
Yep.
Apparently, he couldn't find a story.
Apparently.
Couldn't find a story
Really?
in the character.
Brilliant.
One that
That's
he did.
bizarre.
The quote was something like he didn't feel he could find a story that he could do justice.
League.
Yeah.
I don't know. And in talking with his experiences with the studio, it sounds like he's had quite a positive time there, but he feels as if he failed with Justice League. And there's evidence...
Everybody failed with Justice League.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then it turns out that Zack Snyder was fired and didn't just leave.
Yeah.
And then Joss Whedon was brought in. He didn't feel he did very well, which
I think
from
he's been
watching
fired.
it, you can tell it wasn't very good.
I'm pretty sure it's quite coincidental that
His ex-wife has released loads of stuff about him being quite abusive.
and they've just hired a new head of
Yeah.
DC movies, and then Joss Whedon immediately is going out the door. So
Yeah.
that strikes me as he's being ousted.
Chris Nolan has somehow managed to go from, don't worry, I'm going to executively produce every one of these movies, to quietly just doing that thing that...
Has he just
that
sidestepped
gif-
out?
No, he's just done that gif of Homer, like, stepping back into the bush, isn't he?
Brilliant. He's in the news again in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, carry on.
But yeah, he was. They were all going, no, he's going to executive to produce all of our movies going forward, yeah.
And then didn't do any of them,
And then
did
I
he?
think he might have executive produced Man of Steel and went, nope, walking back into the bush really slowly.
Very true. But yeah, Joss Whedon, apparently he's been working on a World War II project and a horror script before he was asked to help out with Justice League. So he's going to go back to doing those. But, isn't everyone?
Fair enough.
Everybody's doing those, aren't they? World War II scripts and horror movies.
Yeah, it's cool again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can't move from it.
Oh, mate, I hope the new Battlefield game is about World War II. Oh, just been thinking about it today because they've just released the latest bit of Battlefield 1, the last bit they're doing. So there'll be a new Battlefield this year.
He's rubbing his knees while he says that.
That's
In a
my
lechy
knee.
kind of way.
When I went to the gun range in Las Vegas and fired World War II
Shut up.
guns. And I went to a tank museum.
Right, moving on. This is getting creepy. Right, Train Spotting. Writer, John Hodge,
Right.
is working on the James Bond 25 script with Danny Boyle.
That'd be brilliant.
Ah,
If
cool.
Danny Boyle has proved one thing, he can direct in any genre he chooses.
This is true. However,
Has he done porn?
Would he tell you if he had?
Probably not.
what would
Is it
Train
a
Spotting be
genre?
called if it were porn?
Train spotting
Yeah.
would just be called train spotting.
Would it?
Yeah. They wouldn't come up with a clever name. They just call it train spotting.
I'll cut that out. Right,
Lol train spotting.
That's the one. Through the tunnel.
right. So yeah, basically they are being given the opportunity to create a script, which they're going to hand over to the studio who produces James Bond movies, MGM.
Yeah, it is Metro Goldwyn Mayer, but it's Eon, isn't it? It's the production company.
Okay, doke.
Yeah, 'cause it's owned by the family still, isn't it?
So-
All the
The Cubberleys, isn't
the
it?
rights, yeah.
They're going to hand over the script to the studio, and then if they don't like it, they'll just shelve it and go back with the original plan, which is the script by the guys that did the last 4 decent James Bond movies, basically.
Starts with a monologue of James Bond going, choose Aston Martins, choose a really posh watch, choose a tuxedo and shooting somebody in the back of the head. And then zombies come running out and he has to fight a millionaire from the slums.
And then they all go and live on a beach.
And then the
Next to the sun.
And the very end of the movie is him jumping out of a helicopter into the opening ceremony of the Olympics.
With the Queen.
Blowfield,
Which
you
is directed by
fucking
Danny Boyle.
muppet.
That's the joke.
Yes, with the Queen.
Yes.
It was him.
I
that
don't
did
think
the-
it was the Queen that jumped out of the plane. I think they got a
Yes,
stunt
it was.
double.
Anyway, so if they do go back to the previous writing team and their script, they're looking at Danny Villeneuve to direct, which could be interesting.
Again, another person who probably would do a really good Bond movie.
He bloody would. Chris Nolan has kind of sidestepped out and said, actually, no, I don't really
Good.
want to do it.
Because they didn't like his script involving time travel.
Well,
James
basically-
Bond, there's 3 James Bonds in this movie. One's in 1920, one's in 1965, and the other one's in present day. And they all interlock, and the whole story is out of sync. And Hans Zimmer writes the soundtrack, and it goes ding, da, ding, ding, ding. Ding, da, ding, ding, ding. And that's the whole soundtrack for the whole movie. Every time James Bond's something, it's just ding, da, ding, ding, ding.
You've got to have the in there.
Welcome to the Christopher Nolan Appreciation Minute, followed by the Ridley Scott Appreciation Minute, and then followed by Michael Bay Appreciation Minute.
He's ever so politely in an interview basically said, not enough creative control, thank you very much.
They didn't like the time travel script.
Absolutely. Would you be up for a new Zorro movie, guys? No?
Nah.
What if it was set in the future?
What, Zorro
No.
2346?
It's called Zorro 2110.
You went far off, Adam.
Is he trying to help the Mexicans pull down this wall that's going to be built?
Maybe.
Just cutting giant Z holes in it.
Apparently this is happening. Casey Clemens and John Gale Garcia Bernal have joined the team creating a new Zorro movie. Yeah, surrounding the emergence of a new Western frontier in the near future.
So basically, they've taken the storyline from Lone Wolf 2100, which was written by the people that wrote Lone Wolf for Dark
As in
Horse.
Lone Wolf and Cub.
Yeah, so they did a Lone Wolf and Cub story for Dark Horse Comics, which was a standalone short story that was just set in the future, whereas there's a guy and he's got to transport this kid, this little girl, across some horrible situations. And they've basically just sort of taken that and gone, well, yeah, we'll do that, but with Zorro. Great.
There you go.
Well,
So,
I'm
yeah.
looking forward to it now.
If it's done like with a sense of humour and as B-movie style, it might actually be quite fun.
Yeah.
Unlikely.
Expect that in the next couple of years, anyway.
Yeah.
If it gets off the ground, I mean, they're hiring actors. That usually means they've got a script and a director, doesn't it?
Crazy.
Crazy.
The 2110 isn't when we can expect it, is it?
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe.
You've got to wait for the wall to actually be built first.
Supernatural. Does anyone watch Supernatural?
What, the TV show?
Yeah.
Is that still going?
Yeah.
Shit.
Is it?
It is,
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely. It's isn't the same channel as Arrow and all that lot.
Don't know.
CW.
CW. Is it not a CW show?
Who cares?
Who cares? Fair enough.
Been going
Sorry.
forever.
Well, look, the next season is an animated season, and it's
All right.
crossing over with Scooby Doo.
What?
Seriously, we reported on this a long time ago. Maybe like our 6th or 7th show.
Does ring a bell.
Wow.
But
It's actually happening.
it's actually happening.
Wow.
Weird.
And that's in the very near future.
They've just done the re-crossover of Scooby-Doo with Batman after years of... Like, there was a crossover in the 60s with 60s Batman as animated, and they've just recently redone
Scooby-Doo?
that. Yeah, and they've
Cool.
just recently redone that and a few other crossovers using characters that were around back then, and because it's the longest running show ever, Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. It is. I was
So,
going to ask you about that.
Fair
I
play
thought
if
that
they're
was right.
gonna do it Supernatural. I've never watched it, so it will make no sense to
I
me.
think it'll
but-
pick up some more viewers for them. Because, like you say, Scooby-Doo is the longest running. Yeah, everybody knows it.
Yeah.
You can't mention Scooby-Doo to anyone, even 4-year-old kids and 70-year-old grandparents. Everybody knows who Scooby-Doo is.
Yeah.
So I reckon they'll pick up some more. Maybe that's why they've done it. Maybe a smart
Yeah, it might be a
move.
clever way of getting extra viewers.
March 29th is when the first episode will air, and it's called
Weird.
Scooby Natural. It's fine.
Well, we've got the Scooby Apocalypse, the comic series by DC in the library where I work at the moment, which is an alternate version of the Scooby Doo world where they've got like proper high tech stuff, and Scooby Doo's got like a visor thing with a night vision and
Is
ghoul
it called
vision.
Scooby-Doo
and-
2110?
No, it's literally called Scooby Apocalypse.
Scoopocalypse.
No, just Scooby Apocalypse. They weren't even that
Oh,
clever.
Okay.
And basically, like, monsters are real. It's not an old man in a mask going, "Oh, pesky kids." It's actually like weird ghouls and zombies and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. The episodes for this bloody animated season of Supernatural will feature lots of play, apparently, including a race between the Winchester brothers. I take it that's the bloody characters from Supernatural.
idea.
Their iconic Impala, is that car?
Yeah, Impala. Yeah.
And the Mystery Machine.
Cool. Well, we know who's going to win that.
Mystery Machine.
No.
Oh. There's some cool Volkswagen vans on the Isle of Wight that are done up like the Mystery Machine.
Yeah,
aren't
they wouldn't beat an Impala.
No, I'm not saying
They
it.
won't beat most cars, mate.
If you're the owner of one of those vans and you're listening, hi, really like your van. They're very cool.
Lives just down the road.
There's a
One of
really good one here, isn't
Yeah.
there? There we go. Transformers reboot is being played down by Hasbro, as in it might not happen according to them.
That's
But
because of all the backlash.
it might be because of
Just
all
from us.
the one movie that they've got left to promote.
I think it's just because of how much people have been quite... I've seen, since we talked about that, was it last week we talked about that? I've seen a lot of aggression online about the possibility of rebooting it, even from people that like the series.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, people that don't like it have gone, no, we don't want more. We don't want it rebooted. And the people that like it are like, why are you rebooting it? We want more.
I have a sneaking suspicion it would still make a shitload of money, though.
Yeah,
No
people
matter
are
what you did.
idiots. Little
Well,
kids especially, they love cars that turn into robots with no personality.
Yeah, but then this is what I don't get. Like, what kids do, because a lot of the kids I work with, you talk to them about the stuff that's at the cinema, and they seem to hate it as much as the older people who've got the nostalgic connection. So they're like, no, it's rubbish. Like, you can't tell what's going on. It makes no sense. The characters are rubbish. Like, they're rubbish. Like, they might buy the toys, though. I think that's where all the money comes from.
it would be nice, though, if they had a franchise that was tonally correct, though, wouldn't they? Wouldn't it? You know, if you had an adult movie for adults that spoke to us as old Transformer fans and wasn't pitched towards kids but had loads of adult stuff in it in some weird, stupid way.
I don't know, because those films
Isn't that what fucks it up?
Well, no, I think what fucks it
It's
up
just
is...
white hot trash, all
Yeah.
of it.
It
isn't
is
It's garbage.
It's garbage because he's trying to pitch these movies at children.
Yeah, but he doesn't understand the intelligence of modern day children.
But with
because
adult content.
he had the same issue with Turtles. Oh,
He
children
doesn't know
won't
how to make a
understand
movie for children.
mutants.
He's not Steven Spielberg, is he?
Turtles is not so bad because it's just pitched at kids.
Yeah,
and
but
it doesn't have all the swearing and stuff in
he
it.
was just like, yeah, but they won't understand mutants, so they're not going to... Like, he wanted to change everything, and it took so many people fighting against him to get it to be what it is, and it's
Literally
still not
fighting
good.
nunchucks, scythes, katanas, and a bow staff
Thanks for that.
with little things over your face.
Masks.
Yeah, little tie-up masks.
Where's this going?
Just saying, turtles. All right. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, mate.
Heroes in a half
Teenage
shell.
Alien. Like, at what point did you go, they won't get Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we'll have to call them Teenage Alien Ninja Turtles?
He just wanted to call it Turtles at one point. Then he was like Alien Turtles. Then he was like Alien Ninjas. And it was just like, well, it's not even the
It's
same
just
thing, is
every time
it?
you read something about something he said, you always picture him just railing the fattest line of cocaine before he says it.
Right, we're
Off
gonna
of, like-
we're gonna go with adult. Hang on, adult alien kung fu tortoises. Perfect. Right,
It's
where's
just
that coke?
Robert Downey Jr. in
Geriatric Kung Fu Kangaroos.
what's the movie where Robert
Actually a
Downey
comic.
Jr. gets caught with so much cocaine in the trunk in the glove box of his car, and he's
That wasn't a movie, mate, was it?
oh no, it might have been real life.
was
real life.
reality.
Might have been just like
That
a
was
weird
1995.
drug fueled dream I had once.
It's not the Bret Easton Ellis movie.
Don't know,
That
mate.
one?
I think it's Natural Born Killers because he gets nicked, doesn't he? And then he gets taken out of the nick.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've not seen that film. I think since the cinema.
it's quite good.
Such a good film.
Right. Anyway, so yeah, Transformers
Dear God.
and stuff. We'll see what happens. Are we going to actually review the toys that made us this week? Because we forgot last week.
Did we?
We did.
We did, big
We
time.
didn't do it in the end. I
Well,
had to cut
let's-
it out of the other podcast because we'd
let's-
forgotten. Anyway,
Well, if we wrap
Let's
this
crack
up
on.
by 7, then yeah, we can
We'll
do
see.
a 45-minute podcast and then I can be home for dinner at 8 o'clock.
righto, let's have a quick chat about Star Wars.
Why?
Why? Because
Oh,
the Blu-ray's
every
coming,
week.
isn't it?
Is it?
Blu-ray of
Yeah.
what?
Star Wars Episode number 8.
Oh, Last Jedi.
Yes.
Okay.
Is coming out on the 1st of April.
I'll have some of that.
There will be 14 deleted scenes and a documentary.
Oh, I'll have all of that as well.
Yeah. That's quite a lot of stuff, isn't it?
I don't buy many Blu-rays, but this will be purchased on day one, I expect, because I'm a fucking buck.
Do you
It's
think
not. At least I'm not giving money to George Lucas anymore for buying the same films 97 times.
do you think the fact that there's 14 deleted scenes means that they were being quite kind of umming and ahhing?
Do you know
quite a
what
lot?
I'd really wish they would do with these? They do this on the Star Wars films all the time.
Go on.
They don't finish the deleted scenes, and I wish they would just finish them and do a director's cut and just put it on the disc,
Right.
because that'd be quite nice.
Just a disc where you can choose at the beginning theatrical, Blu-ray,
Yeah, or the director's cut.
or director's cut. Yeah.
I think they did finish some of the. I think it was for Revenge of the Sith or something. They've actually finished some of the deleted scenes because it was just in their work in the project workflow.
Right.
So they just finished them and then they were cut after they were finished.
Right.
And they did that thing where they made Yoda because he was CGI. They
Made him into a puppet.
They made him breakdance with some
Oh, really?
troopers. Yeah, because you can basically animate it any way you like, can't you? Or you could just load in an animation from something else. You don't even have to program it.
Cool.
Great.
I have not seen that.
Let's give me more Star Wars.
What about Star Wars Park? Are you going to go?
Well, I'm going to America next year, but
Yeah.
I'm not going. And I'm going to be, in the greater scheme of the whole planet, I'm going to be quite close to Disneyland in California.
This is true.
But it will be too...
Stone's throw away.
It's too much of a dent in our trip to do that.
It's quite expensive to go to Disneyland now,
I
isn't
don't
it?
care about that. It's not. In the greater scheme of going to America for 2 weeks, it doesn't cost...
not money.
It doesn't cost that much. Like $100 a day.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not
For
so bad.
Disneyland?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not so bad. But yeah, apparently you can't even get around it all in a week anymore, though.
No, you're thinking of Disneyland. Right. Disney...
Florida.
Florida. But
Is that not where
California...
Star Wars is? Star Wars Land is?
Star Wars Land is in Disney, California.
Oh, is
Anaheim,
it?
Yeah.
Ah, my mistake.
Which is probably the smallest Disney resort
Yes.
because it's the oldest. It's the original.
Is it?
So you could
Yeah.
actually get around it, like the sections you want to see if you're over
Oh
there.
yeah, easy in a day. You go back on the same rides.
Cool.
We went to Disneyland Paris, and there's 2 parks there, and we went for 4 days, and it was too many days. It'd be 4 days would be fine if you had kids because you're queuing and they're sleeping and shit. But like when you're adults, you just buzz around. 4 days was too many.
Right.
Way too many.
4 days wasn't enough to get around Florida.
No, people go to Florida for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
like 10 parks.
When I was
isn't
11, so 20 odd years ago, that was 4 days was not quite enough
30
to get
years
around it. 30-ish years ago, yeah, you're right, Sam. I'm going to be, 38 this year?
there? No, you're not, Chris. Are you actually going to be 40 this year?
Who knows? Who knows? My
When's
age is an enigma.
What's your date of birth?
I'm not telling you. Right. Yeah, so Star Wars Resort at Walt Disney World. We had a first look at it today.
Walt Disney Resort. I think that is the Florida one.
Right,
And they
okay.
might be building one in both, which probably makes sense to do that.
Maybe. Because I thought it was another park. Like, yeah, you've got not Universal Studios, MGM Studios,
Yeah.
Magic Kingdom.
You'd think at some point
Star
they
Wars
would.
World.
You would think in Florida it would have made sense to just go Star Wars. Just have a park called Star Wars.
Yeah, like they did with Asterix in France.
Yeah, but that is. I think that's just branding over the top of just like a theme park.
So we could turn Alton Towers into an Asterix.
Yeah,
park.
you would. No, I think it's a similar sort of thing to that.
Okay.
Because I
Or
was
just like
reading up on it
cardboard outers on
while I
the-
was in
on roller
Disneyland. I was
coasters and
reading up
stuff.
about it because it's got loads of really amazing roller coasters. Because
Okay.
you don't have like big over the top rides in Disneyland as a whole. They're sort of like
okay. One or
they're
two.
notched down from like bonkers ones.
Yeah, fair enough. So that all the kids can enjoy it.
Yeah.
That'll be the snooze button. Anyway,
Yeah.
one last thing about Star Wars.
Oh.
Episode 9 script is done and expected to start filming very soon,
Ooh.
apparently. Do you feel a bit... I feel a bit Star Wars'd out at the moment.
Totally.
Yeah?
I started playing
You powered down
Battlefront
for
2
quite a
the
long
other
time
day.
there, Paul. You all right?
Yeah, well, it's
He just C-3PO'd at the start of A New Hope. He's like, excuse me, sir, would you just mind if I powered...
Well, you went to Transformers. I know for a fact I've got absolutely nothing to do with that anymore. Just I'm stuck in the 80s and 90s, and I've given up chasing that dream. So I've got nothing to say about that because it's just if I do, it's just a complete spew of venom,
anger.
foul anger for hours. And then Star Wars, I'm sort of benevolent. I just don't care.
Fair.
It's pleasant enough when it's on, but hey.
Cool.
So, sorry.
Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. Right, super quick. Let's get through these last bits. Jurassic World 3 is set for release in 2021, apparently. Lego Batman's director, Chris McKay, is up to direct Dungeons & Dragons.
Cool.
Also being released in 2021.
Cool.
Whether or not that affects him directing the Nightwing movie is another matter.
That other Dungeons and Dragons
hopefully-
movie's bad,
yeah.
isn't it?
I think-
Hopefully Dungeons and Dragons will happen because I prefer that to a Nightwing film.
To be honest, you just kind of expect anyone to jump ship from DC and just go and do anything
Yeah.
else, wouldn't you?
I
So-
want the Dungeons and Dragons movie to be about kids getting on a fairground ride and ended up in Dungeons and Dragons.
I think that might be the version they're going for, isn't it?
Let's hope so.
But
'Cause
do you know
retro's
what would be
cool, man.
brilliant? It would be like a whole car. No, not a whole car, like a train. No, what do you call it?
Roller
Thunder
coaster.
Mountain.
On a roller coaster, not just one car,
Cart,
like not just like the car, but the whole train, and they all come through, and it's a bit like Lost, so that everybody ends up there. But because it's Dungeons and Dragons and it's 2018, it's as violent and realistic as Game of Thrones. So,
Yeah.
like, most of the people just get wiped out.
Yeah.
Or like half of them get taken as
Do
slaves.
that on Netflix rather
and
than The
they're
Witcher.
getting bummed, and then
Dragon bum.
the other ones just get cut up, and and then there's these
They
four
get
that just
unied.
get like that meet the little weird white Yoda, and he goes, "I'll give you powers to fight the Game of Thrones Ecigs." and the one guy who's a pussy he's real bad. He's such a wuss, and he just keeps pissing himself. And find himself in like really bad situations where he
Waking
has
up
to
with a
just
troll's
hide
wife.
in the
Hang on,
corner.
there's actually quite a few similarities between the 1980s Dungeons and Dragons and Game of Thrones. Thinking about it,
Yep.
Dungeon Master could be what's his face, the
Peter Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage.
I don't know the character name, but yeah.
It's been too long. He's a Lannister, isn't he?
Tyrion
yeah.
Lannister, yeah.
And oh damn it, who's the guy that had his penis cut off?
Oh, I
Reek.
forget. Reek. Yeah, don't mind.
Lily Allen's brother.
Is it? Is it Lily Allen's brother?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you
Yeah,
sure you
so-
don't watch Game of Thrones?
No, I
You
just
sound
know.
like a closet Game of
I know
Thrones fan
shit.
to me.
I know shit. I just don't like it.
Anyway, yeah, he could be Eric, couldn't he? Eric's the Knight, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right. It was funny, I put it on for the little girl the other day, and, it starts saying, barbarian, magician, and
Yep.
acrobat. And my missus just chirped up from the kitchen and said, that's a shit power, isn't it? Fucking acrobat.
It is.
Christ.
Not Olympic gymnast. Acrobat.
Acrobat. You've got a fuck off mega shield, and that one will go invisible, and that one's got a club that will go through the floor, and you bounce around a bit on a stick.
Only
Fucking
one of
rubbish.
them is really sort of like a proactive power anyway, and it's the Ranger, isn't it? He's got like the glowing arrow, like the glowing bow and arrow.
The
Yeah, but
Barbarian's pretty good as well.
that-
Bobby's
that's-
Bobby's
but
club's
yeah.
all right.
The wizard's rubbish, isn't he? Then you got the guy he's such a coward. All he gets is a shield.
Yeah, but
Doesn't
it's
even give him a sword, does he?
It's a mega shield, though, isn't it? It can deflect anything.
But
Then
it's
you've got
not.
acrobat.
The thing is, it's like the greatest stories ever told. It's not about the individual characters' powers. It's about them as a team.
Should have put this in the main news, shouldn't we? Really?
Yeah.
Acrobat.
Oh well.
Anyway,
Rubbish.
final news is
Amazon are adapting Ian M. Banks's space opera
Jesus.
Flabus, which I thought was what
Plumbus.
I thought that's what you got from a schlurm.
Yeah, I was going to say, all the schleem.
Plumbus, yeah.
Yeah. We recycled a schleem, and
We carved off the flambers. And then you bring in a cross and make him tickle the flame.
Anyway, it's about it's the microcosms of a big space war. It sounds a bit weird.
I think it's about an 8-book tome series
Is
or
it?
something ridiculous.
There you go, Amazon. Sounds ambitious. Disney's live-action Pinocchio lands the Paddington director, Paul King. He's a
Oh.
busy man. What did we find out he was directing last week? I can't remember.
Don't
Off the top
know.
of my head. Disney are going to reboot the Muppets
Yay!
for its original streaming service,
Cool.
which I like the Muppets actually.
I
Did you
love
see
the Muppets.
Did you see the last season of the Muppets when it was like
Yes.
reality TV show comedy, like The Office,
like
sort
The
of thing?
Office.
Yeah.
No, I didn't watch any of
You
that.
should go
It's
back and
really
have a
good.
look. It's
Yeah.
very, very
There's
good.
some great moments.
But they're
in it.
rebooting it again then.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. There should be a new Infinity War trailer coming possibly this week.
Don't care.
Okay, fair enough.
Well, no, I'm on. I'm
I'm
on board.
on board. I don't need to see another
I don't
trailer.
need to see any more
Yeah.
trailers.
I don't want any more
Because
given
my
away.
brain just goes too many characters. I'm having this play.
Fair enough. Jessica Chastain is considering playing Beverly in
In-
Stephen King's It.
That would be
the
incredible
sequel.
casting, wouldn't it?
Do you think? It'd
Yeah.
be good, but she doesn't. She's not exactly like pulling record numbers for her movies and stuff. But
I
yeah,
don't even know who she is.
no,
no.
She's in Interstellar and loads. She's
you'd recognise her definitely.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
like him.
We'll IMDb her in a minute, and you can have a look. Walton Giggins is playing Jack Vincennes. Is that how you say his name in LA Confidential on TV? Does that make?
Yep, Jack Vincennes, which
Yep.
is Kevin Spacey's character, isn't he?
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
So they're not
No,
not Hurricane
no, they're not.
Spacey. Okay, fair enough. I
No,
wonder
no
why.
one is. No one is now.
Oh, damn, should have put these two bits of news together. Stephen King's The Bone Church is getting a TV adaptation because, a book a week. And X-Force, the movie, might start filming this fall, autumn. Obviously got my...
And we still don't know
Copied
if
and pasted from
Disney.
an
We still don't
American
know
website.
if Disney have been allowed to buy Fox yet. So we don't know if it will be changed and adapted to fit within things because we don't know if the two universes will meet back up yet.
And finally, Adventure Time is returning in March with some new episodes.
Cool.
Which is good.
Very good program.
Yep.
Right, trailers, ever so quick. The Outsider, Jared Leto. You'd love that one, Adam.
No,
You love Jared Leto.
no.
Do you like Jared Leto, Paul?
Who's that?
Guy that played the
Joker.
Joker in the new film.
Mate, he gets his arm cut off in Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah,
I haven't watched any
so
of
it
them.
is. Have you not?
No.
Oh, I saw Mother last night.
You saw what?
Mother.
Mother. I don't know that one either.
That's what's the director's name?
The same guy who directed Requiem for
Yeah.
a Dream. Darren Aronofsky.
Darren Aronofsky. That's the one. His new movie.
Sorry, I've
We'll talk about
absolutely
that in
no
the review
opinion
show.
on the guy then. Sorry.
You should watch some of his movies. Anyway, review show. So, John Wick style. Yeah. The Outsider with Jared Leto. It's like a John Wick style Oriental crime thriller type thing.
Cool.
Looks all right. Collateral. Oh yeah, these are all on Netflix, by the way.
Oh.
So that's a Netflix movie. Collateral, which is set over the course of 4 days in London, exploring the spiralling repercussions surrounding the fatal shooting of a pizza delivery man. It's not a comedy.
I don't,
Weird
the
premise.
context is a bit weird.
It is.
And the way they've said it is a bit weird, but fair enough.
Absolutely. Lost in Space, the reboot.
Yes, I'm quite interested in this.
It's got a trailer. That's Netflix as well.
Yeah, why not?
I loved the old TV show, and then the remake movie with Matt LeBlanc from Friends was
atrocious. Absolutely
atrocious.
Yep.
I just hope they can do something good with it,
In
because I
actual
really
fact,
love that.
From listening to a podcast earlier on today, I realised that I actually haven't seen it all the way through.
I don't think I have either.
I've turned it off every single time.
Well, if they could do with that series what they've done with the recent Star Trek series, great.
Ooh, did we all finish Star Trek as well?
I
Yes.
did. Yeah.
Okay, so we can talk about that in reviews. Okay, Jessica Jones season 2. There's another trailer for that.
I haven't seen the trailers yet. I'm
Not seen
kind
the
of just
trailer.
going to wait and watch it.
Yeah,
I was
I'm
thinking
not
the
too
same.
fussed about watching the trailers for these because I know what I'm getting.
You know the
sort of.
character, you know the
Yeah.
pace, don't
Well,
you? So-
this will give you more depth to the character by the,
Yeah.
by the looks of it. They're covering like how she became,
Cool.
like what she is,
Yeah.
because we don't actually know how she got her powers yet, do we? Well,
No.
Yeah. Not
Well,
on the
I
show.
do because I've read the comics, but yeah.
And Netflix are doing a reboot of the cartoon series Reboot.
Yes.
Oh.
Funded,
Yeah.
funded by Netflix, but it's the original team that did Reboot, the Canadian
Interesting.
company.
Have you
Yeah.
seen the trailer?
I haven't yet.
Go and watch it.
Does it look good?
It looks awful.
What?
It looks like Power Rangers.
What a
So,
shame.
what was the premise of Reboot? Were they humans controlling these
No,
avatars?
No, they
They-
were
inside?
data, weren't they?
Yeah, there were data and sprites living
Right.
inside a computer.
So in the
It's like
reboot,
Tron, basically, wasn't it?
in the
but
reboot
the
of
games
Reboot-
would load in and they all go into the game. They all fly towards to try and be in the game when the game loads into the world.
Fair enough. So in Reboot, they are humans controlling stuff inside of the computer by the looks of it,
Oh.
and they all look a bit ninja-y, a bit Power Ranger-y. Hate to disappoint you, but go and have a look,
Oh,
and you'll
go
see
and have
what
a
I
look,
mean.
yeah.
Trailers on our
Maybe,
on our
the
Facebook page.
trailer is deceptive, hopefully, and that's not actually what's going on. And that they're just tricking everyone and lying.
Maybe. We shall
Hope
see.
so.
Outside of Netflix, Krypton got another trailer with a first look at Brainiac.
Yeah, I don't care about
I
watching
don't care
it.
about the show. I'm
No.
intrigued, though.
I'm
I
not.
just-
It's like when they did Caprica.
Yeah.
Like, there was no point.
Little
It's
bit.
boring. It's like going, I know, let's do a TV show about where Batman came from without Batman in. Oh, yeah, they did, and it's rubbish.
Yeah.
The thing is with these shows, you give them one episode, right? And then if you don't like
No.
them, they can fuck off.
I don't even give them that.
No?
No. There's no point in doing a TV show about something that doesn't have the main reason for that place existing in the first place. I just can't be bothered.
Fair enough. And Yadi, which is Idris Elba's directorial debut,
Oh.
which is, again, like a John Wicky type movie, but set in the black community. A Jamaican guy gets sent to live in England, I think, by the looks of it, to sort of get him away from his sort of criminal lifestyle.
Right.
But he runs into the bloke that killed his brother when they were kids.
Of course he does.
And goes on a bit of a rampage.
Cool.
Yeah.
Could be interesting.
Yeah. It's getting really bad reviews, but hey, the trailer's there. Go and have a look. All of those trailers are on our Facebook page, and that's about it.
Cool.
Let's wrap this up, shall we?
Yep.
If you'd like to take a look at anything that we do outside of the podcast, links to all of our stuff and nonsense is it's on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Loads of it.
Please go and have a look. And
Do it now.
honourable mention for Libsyn and Sticher.
Oh, them guys.
Yeah, they stopped Christopher Nolan doing a James Bond film.
They did, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard they're both going to because they're quite short fellas, aren't they, Libsyn and...
Sticher, yeah.
I mean, well built. I mean, they're impressive. You
Yeah.
notice them when they walk in a room, but one's going to sit on the other's shoulders, and they're going to be the new Bond.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Do they not sound like Transformers? They sound like they could be Transformers.
They could be.
don't
They could maybe
Stitcher.
crossover.
Maybe it'd be a needle.
It could be.
Or it could be a basket full of
They can do what they want.
crochet equipment.
They can do anything.
Anywho, if you'd like to write into us like the other guys did at the start of the show, please do. Our emails are snewwiththecrew@gmail.com, podcast@snewnetwork.com. You can
Facebook
us, you can tweet at us.
Even the YouTube. Just drop a comment on the YouTube. If you don't have access to Facebook and
leave a comment on our
email.
Facebook page.
Yeah.
Anything like that.
anything.
Thanks for your emails earlier on, Jamie and John. Let's bugger off, shall we?
Yeah, goodbye.
Definitely.
Say goodbye, guys.
Bye.
Right, reviews.
Yes.
Can't do toys that made us.